Welcome back to the Catnip Podcast. My name is Grace, and today is Friday, June 29th. Like always that I say at the end of the month is almost over, and it's almost July, and where has time gone? I don't know. This month has gone by so quickly, and I think it's just insane. There was no episode last week. Last week was Houston Fiber Festival, which I went to with my mom, and it was amazing. But just because that happened and I went on Saturday as well, it was just really busy, and I wanted to not do a little episode last week. I wanted to talk about what I got, so I decided just to save it for this week, and so that way we have a big episode coming up, so that's fun. So I apologize for there not being an episode last week. Like always, you can find all the things that I will be talking about. They will be linked in the show notes. If you are on YouTube, the link to my blog will be down below in the down bar, or if you are on my blog, everything will be down below. In addition to that, there's also all my social medias that you can follow me on. There's Instagram, Twitter, Ravelry, and Facebook. I am most active on Instagram for sure, so if you'd like to get updates and just see what I'm up to during the week, that is the place to follow me. In other news that is not relevant to the podcast, I got a haircut. I got a bang trim. So nice. Long bangs are just very frustrating because they never look good, and it's just so hard to style them and just be happy with the way they look. But I have a nice fresh bang trim, as you can tell. I'm just very happy about it. But that's not relevant to the podcast, so fun fact about me. So because there was no podcast last week, I have a lot to talk about, and I have fun Fiber Festival footage to show you that I'll be putting at the end. I did get to film a little bit, and I got to meet people, and I got to pass out pins that I made for the podcast, which was super, super fun. But I will talk about that more in the actual podcast. So let's get on with the intro, shall we? If you would like to grab something tasty to drink or eat or whatever, today I have coffee because it is early and yay for coffee. Or something to craft upon, or do whatever, or not do anything at all. If you just want to sit and chill, that is wonderful. And you can come back and join me for some crafty chat. So there is so much to talk about, I don't know where to begin. I don't know, everybody. So I have knitting to talk about. I got a lot of yarn. My mom and I got a lot of yarn. I won't show you, let's just go over a little bit about the Fiber Festival, shall we? Because that's probably the biggest thing. So if you are new to the podcast, or if you have not seen last week's episode, or 2 weeks ago's episode, or just several of them, I think. What am I trying to say? What I'm trying to say is that my mom and I had never been to a Fiber Festival until this most recent Houston Fiber Festival, which was last weekend, a week ago today, actually. So we went on Friday. We spent maybe 4 or 5 hours shopping and looking and just enjoying, maybe 3 or 4 hours, maybe. Something like that. It was incredible. It was so amazing. For a first Fiber Festival experience, it was wonderful. If you are from Houston, or if you're familiar with the area, it was in the Berry Center, which is in the Cypress area. It is close to Lone Star Community College, which I did my fair amount of time there before I went to A&M, so that's fun. Like I said, I got to meet people. I got to chat with lots of people. I got to pass out podcast pins. It was a really fun experience, and I am super excited for the next Fiber Festival we go to. I have no idea what that's going to be or when that's going to be, but we had so much fun. We had a blast. The day before, or a couple days before, I did a a lot of research, and I wrote down patterns and pattern information for the things that I really, really wanted to make so I could go in with a plan. My mom did the same thing for patterns she wanted to make, so that was really, really helpful. If you've never been to a fiber festival before, I highly recommend you do that, just because if you want to shop with a purpose, I guess, there's nothing wrong with shopping without a purpose. I totally get the appeal of just wandering around and looking at things, and if you feel inspired to buy something, and if something just really speaks to you, do that. That's awesome. But if you go into a fiber festival and you're like, I really, really want to get something for this pattern, or I want this pattern to look a certain way, so I'm going to look for this type of a yarn, and I know that they'll have that. Anything like that, I highly recommend doing your research beforehand, because though the Berry Center had good Wi-Fi, there's usually a good chance that the location might not necessarily have good Wi-Fi, just because there'll be a lot of people on the Wi-Fi. So it's always good to have that stuff written down or someplace on your phone where you don't have to necessarily use Wi-Fi or data or anything like that. Just for ease, it makes things super easy and quick. So that would be one of my suggestions. Were there any other suggestions? I don't know. We'll just continue talking about it and maybe they'll pop up. I don't know. So yes, there were, I don't know how many vendors there were there, but there were a lot of them, and they were all so amazing. One thing that I really, and granted I have not been to any other fiber festival, as I have said before, so I don't have anything to compare it to, but from what I have heard about other fiber festivals, I feel like compared to, like, I don't know. I'm now saying this and I feel like I can't really make a good comparison. But let's just say that I feel like the Houston Fiber Festival is a very good place if you want to get more local yarns. Like stuff that's in the general Houston, Texas area, even in Louisiana, because I got to meet and buy from the Teeny Button yarn company, which is super wonderful, and it was Robin and Mary of the Cherry Pearls podcast, and they were so delightful to talk to. I really enjoyed getting to meet them. If you guys are watching, hello. And I will link them in the show notes, so if you want to go check them out, I highly recommend their podcast. And also her yarns, because her yarns are amazing. So, that was off topic. But, I feel like it was really cool to, like, I don't think we bought any yarn that was more... Commercial is not the right word I'm looking for, but it's not like Madeline Tosh, or it's not like Hedgehog Fibers. Those are super special, and you know that I love knitting with those. But we got things from like Alpaca Farms from Navasota, and which is if you're not from Texas or the area, Navasota is like a little town close to College Station, which is where A&M is, and the sun has just come out from behind the clouds. So, and then like other little dyeing, indie dyers. I'm doing a very bad job of describing this. I feel like it's because I've had a week off and I haven't had to like try and describe something to a camera before. Not before, but in a week. I don't know. It's crazy how you get out of habit of this. But anyway. So my mom and I really, really enjoyed that, and we think obviously it's super cool to support any kind of indie dyer, whether they're local to you or they're not local to you. It's just such a wonderful cause to support your fellow knitters and your fellow indie dyers. But because we live in Texas and because this is like a local area to us, it was even cooler to be able to support those people, just because that was super awesome. And we got to meet them and we got to hang out with them, and that was really fun. So, we really enjoyed it. I like the local aspect of it, relatively local anyway. So, we loved it. We would definitely do it again. We will be doing more fiber festivals in the future. I don't know when, but that's okay. The point is that we loved it, and we'll definitely be doing it again. So, woohoo! Yay for the Houston Fiber Festival. But so because I have a lot to show you, I will save all that knitting goodness and yarn acquisitions. I will save that till the end of the podcast before the Fiber Festival footage, just because I know not everyone's interested in that. So let's get on to knitting, shall we? So the past couple of weeks I have been working on a test knit for Caitlin Hunter and Veronica of Yoth Yarn of the House, on the House, Yarn on the House yarns. So that is super exciting. I am really, really loving it. I am just so excited to be able to wear this because I think it'll be a good fall staple. Also, the colors that I am knitting it in are my school colors, which is always good because then it just is a good thing in general. Also, I mean, my school colors are maroon and maroon. Or burgundy, if you like to call it burgundy. And I just love that color, and it looks good on me, so it's a good win-win situation. I'm just rambling at this point. But, so, what am I saying? So, I don't remember where I was last time I showed you. So, I feel like my progress will be extreme just because it has been a while. But we have finished the first portion of the pattern, which is the color work section, which I'm about to show you. And I've started on the second portion. The second portion was released recently, so I have started working on that. I've made it past the short rows that are in the pattern and have now made it to the long stretch of stockinette in the round, which is one of my favorite things to do. Which is very nice time-wise because I just had several books come into the library so I can read them on my iPad and just knit till I reach the desired length or whatever. So I believe this pattern is going to be called Caitlin, but I am not positive. So don't quote me on that, but I think that might be what the name is. But anyway, so it's going to be a long tunic-y type thing. This is the bottom. Obviously, as you can see, the ribbing is flipping up, but that will be fixed in blocking because yay for blocking. I am so happy with this. I think this is gorgeous. So what to say? The pattern was super, super easy and very fun to knit so far, and I'm sure it will be for the rest of it as well. I am knitting this out of Cascade 220 fingering in this maroon burgundy shade, which is showing up much more purpley and red in the camera, but it's actually much darker in person. So that's the main color, and then I'm also using the same yarn in whatever this is, which is kind of like a beigey gray. I think it's beautiful. I don't think the camera, that's a little bit more accurate. Why is it always that if you hold it back it looks more accurate? This is much more accurate. I think the contrast of the two colors looks amazing. I love my color combination. I think this will look super, super amazing. And yeah, I'm just really enjoying working on it, and I'm very excited. Also, if anyone was wondering, now that I have shown it to you and talked about it, I do have permission to talk about it. So, yes. I'm not breaking any rules here. But yes, I am very, very excited about this. I think this will be a wonderful fall knit. It's also very lightweight because it is knit out of fingering yarn and on very small needles. So thankfully I was able to get gauge with whatever the pattern called for, which I think was a 5 or 4. I don't remember. But I did get gauge with the required needle, which is wonderful. I do also, what I really, really like about this, and I'm actually just now thinking of this, which is dumb because I feel like I should have thought of this before. I love the fact that the color work is on the bottom because obviously when you knit color work you have like extra like layers. You're knitting with 2 yarns. You have more yarn puff to deal with, and instead of knitting just like 1 layer with a single yarn like I am here, this will be the body of the sweater, which will mean it'll be more lightweight, which I like that this is on the bottom, because then it doesn't, for those of us who live in warmer climates like Houston, it's nice to have the lighter weight sweater options, especially if you like want to wear this to a football tailgate or something, because again, college colors, good to represent. So yes, I'm very excited. Whether or not I'll actually wear this to a tailgate, I don't know. But when I saw this and I thought of the colors I wanted to knit it in, that was immediately what I thought of. So that would be nice. If I do, maybe I can get some pictures, and that would be wonderful. But yes, I am really loving this. I am loving test knitting this. This is super fun. The group is super wonderful. Working with Veronica is so wonderful and just such a joy. The pattern is really wonderfully written. When this comes out, do knit this sweater. Knit this sweater immediately. It is wonderful so far. So, and I'm sure it will be for the rest of the pattern. So, again, not sure if this is called Caitlin or not, but I don't remember when the published date is, or like the general time area. Maybe in the fall, I don't know. But don't worry, you'll continue to see updates from me, because obviously this is a test knit and does have deadlines. That is important. So I will keep you updated with the information that I have. Super excited to work on this. Very excited. I've also been working on my Annette shawl, which I'm knitting out of Knit Picks palette, which in the Limeade Heather colorway. It looks exactly the same. It's just slightly bigger, so I'm not actually going to show it to you. But if you like to see what it looks like, you can go back into previous episodes and you can see what it looks like. I just don't want to show it necessarily today because 1, it looks the same, and 2, there's just so much more I have to show you, and I don't want to like go on for too long. So, moving right along. So these 2 things are in fact acquisitions from the Fiber Festival, but the I think it was that afternoon. Yeah, it was Friday afternoon, so my mom and I like finished. We were like super happy with all of our purchases. We were so happy. We were so incredibly happy. We went to Chick-fil-A for lunch. It was amazing. So that was super great. The berry, where the berry center is, has been developed significantly since I went to school at Lone Star. So it was super fun to see like all the stuff that's there, experience fun things like coffee shops, and there was a Chick-fil-A, and there were Torchies, and lots of fun stuff. So that was super fun to get to kind of like wind down a little bit while enjoying a delicious lunch together. We could pull out our yarn and be like, I am so excited about this. We could smell it, we could enjoy it. So it was good times all around. So after that, my mom and I discussed what we would be casting on first. And I don't remember what she will be casting on first, because I know that she's working on a Girl's Best Friend shawl by Isabel Kramer, which is very exciting, and I in fact got yarn for that because I am very inspired, which I will go into in another part of this episode, so don't worry about that. But side note, so anyway, I came home and wound up some yarn, and I cast something on immediately because I've been wanting to make this for forever, and I've had this pattern for forever, and I finally found some yarn that was just like, it spoke to me. It's from a local alpaca farm in Navasota. It's amazing. It's in this brand new bag that I got that has a window on it. I've always wanted one of these. It's reversible. So we have the inside, which is like the super fun graphic print, and then on the outside we have these llamas. and like cactuses. Can we go wrong, people? I don't think we can go wrong with this. This is amazing. And I got another bag because she had a deal of buy two get one free, which was really wonderful. So my mom and I both got one, and my mom let me keep the second one. Is it in here? Yes, it's in here, which is good because this has the tag. This one does not have a tag. So my second one is these super cute little farm animals on like, or not farm animals, they're like woodland creatures on like a little campsite, and there's like a fire, and there's a sign that says campsite, and there's like a bunny, the ladybug. I think my favorite is the fox though. I love the fox. He's so cute. This one does not have a window, and then this is the reversible inside, which is super cool. So, who is this by? So these bags are done by Little Monkey SNS. She has an Etsy store. Whoopies, let's move that out of the way. And she had so many fun patterns and fabric choices. She had a very nice wide variety of different types of bags. I don't know how many of them were reversible, but I didn't realize that until like recently. I didn't realize that they were reversible when we got them. But she had so many fun patterns, like very unique fabrics that I think would appeal to a lot of people. So I highly recommend I highly recommend you checking out her Etsy store. She was also very nice, so definitely go and check out her bag options and support her. But yeah, so let's get to the knitting that's in this bag. I'm also using a highlighter to mark my pattern, which I don't know why I'm doing that. A pen would be much easier, but I don't know. So, okay, where to start? Okay, we can put the bag down because we talked about the bag. Okay, so this, this yarn, let's see, let's undo this ball band so we can see a little bit better. This yarn is from a local-ish alpaca farm. I think I've mentioned that about 3 times already. But the alpaca ranch, I should say. I don't know if it's a farm or not. I don't know the difference, but that's okay. So it's the Bluebonnet Hills Alpaca Ranch. The yarn that I got, the base, I think is called This and That. It is 100% prime Texas alpaca with thrums added, which you will see in just a minute, and I love it so much. 200 yards, it's a 2-ply worsted. Alpacas were raised and yarn dyed in Navasota, Texas, which is the same place that I mentioned. It's close to College Station. It's very close to here. Navasota is also the home of WC Mercantile, which is the closest yarn store to College Station. They are really have lots of stuff like this, and they have a lot of spinning fiber as well. It's really wonderful. I did not get to go a whole lot when I was in college, but it is a really, really good yarn store. So they were there. They had a booth, which is super fun. And this is their label that I have undone, so you can see it. This is what I'm using to make. Actually, let's show you the yarn first. So this is what the yarn looks like. Oh, it's so squishy. As you can imagine, 100% alpaca is the softest stuff on the planet. And it also smells so sheepy, but not sheepy, it smells like alpaca. It's just, this yarn is, oh my goodness. It just smells so good. Don't judge me. So you can see it's a natural color. Let's hold it back here because this is more accurate. This is what the color looks like in person. This is not what it looks like in person, but you can see these little thrums that have been added to the yarn itself when it was being spun up. And they're different colors all over the place. There are purples, there are pinks that you can't see, there's black, there's green, there's yellow, blue, mixtures of these colors. Green, did I mention green? I don't know. I just love this. This just makes me, I cannot express or describe the happiness the knitting this with this pattern makes me. It just makes me so incredibly happy, and just my knitter heart is just like full of joy. Almost to a point where it, like, I feel like I could get almost to a point where I feel like I could get emotional about it, but now is not the time for that. But I really, really love this yarn, and I love just all of it. I love the shawl pattern. I'm making a shawl, by the way. Let's talk about the shawl pattern. I'm making a shawl, and the combination of the two. So like I said, I have had this shawl pattern in my queue and in my library for goodness knows how long. But I didn't know what yarn I wanted to use, and I knew that I wanted to make something. It needed to be woolly. I thought about maybe using Cascade Eco Wool, but I knew that that wouldn't be super soft. Also, it would probably be super bulky, and I wouldn't enjoy it as much. So when I saw this, and I was like, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. This has to happen, like, right now. So you can see there, this is lace. I don't know how to show this to you very well because it's all squishy and it hasn't been blocked yet, but, so that's lace. It's a lace shawl, obviously, with a garter stitch edge, which I really like. This is Authenticity by Sylvia McFadden, or Soft Sweater Knits. That is what her, Soft Sweater is her Instagram username. She is a wonderful human being, and I really, really love her patterns. This is actually my first one that I've made of hers, just because I want them to be, like, special, because they are special, and so I want to, like, pick out the right, not that other patterns are not special, but, I just want to do them in a way that would be really good. Does that make sense? I don't know. But, so the cool thing about her shawl patterns and a couple of her sweater patterns I think she has, she always has some kind of, like, why she designed it or why it's named whatever it is named. So I just think it's really cool the way that she designs things with things and names that are inspired and things that you can think about while you knit it, which I think is super cool. And also the fact that I'm using a very, like, knitting authentic yarn. This is very legit. This came from an alpaca farm about 45 minutes away from me, and alpaca ranch, excuse me, but you know what I mean. It's like, you can't get more authentic than this, and it smells so good. Wow. Just can't get over it. So yes, this is the shawl pattern so far. I don't know what this lace pattern is called necessarily, if there is a name for it, but I'm really loving it. It is a completely charted pattern, so if you were not into charts, this is not the pattern for you. But if you are into charts, so my nose is right itchy. The downside of this yarn is it does shed, but it's worth it. Like, how pretty is that? You guys, it's beautiful. I love it. So yes, Authenticity by Sylvia McFadden. I should probably look that up. I do know that she is Soft Sweater on Instagram, and I believe on Ravelry as well. That'll be linked in the show notes, so don't worry. But I am loving knitting this. I am loving the yarn. I cannot wait to wear it. I think it'll go with, like, literally everything. Oh my goodness. Also, this is a good color for me. I love it. And they had the perfect amount left, and it was like, can this be any more perfect? I don't think so. It was just meant to be. It was meant to be. Sylvia McFadden, that is her name. So yes, she has a beautiful Instagram feed. She is a wonderful human being. I love her patterns. I want to make more of them. I want to make all of them. So definitely go and check it out. Definitely check out if you are interested in like legit alpaca yarn and you happen to live in Texas, or even if you don't live in Texas. Definitely check out Bluebonnet Hills Alpaca Ranch because their yarn is mighty fine, mighty fine. Would definitely knit with it again, for sure, for sure. Another thing I would like to say about these bags by Little Monkey, Little Monkey, is that the bottoms are very flat, so they sit up very nicely, so you can just like sit it down somewhere and pull from your bag with the yarn. That being said, it's not like a hard bottom, it's a very soft bottom, so you want to be careful about like getting it dirty and all that jazz, but I'll leave that up to you. But I do want to say that the bottoms are very nice and they can sit up very, very easily and very nicely, which makes for smooth knitting. So that is all I have for my knitting that I have done this week. Like I said, I have a lot to show you, so I didn't want to show you too much. I want to cast on all the things. I want to cast on everything so badly, but obviously things need to be knit. I have deadlines that I need to meet and focus on and not get distracted by, even though it's very easy to do. One thing that I would love to mention before I continue on with my fun yarn acquisitions, and I will mention again at the end of the episode, but I will be teaching a beginning knitting class at the Modern Skein, which is a new yarn store out in Montgomery, Texas. If you are near there or in the area, I know that there is a limit of 6 people, and I think so far there are 2 people. This will be the second class that I've taught there, so that is super exciting. I will be teaching more classes in the future, and we're continuing to work on plans and stuff, so that's very exciting. I will let you know when that happens and information as you so need it. I will link the shop website and the shop Instagram in the show notes because you should definitely go and follow them if you are in the Texas area and are looking for a yarn store, or in the Texas area. That's very broad. If you're in the Houston area or like the Cypress, Tomball, Montgomery area, it's not too far by Houston standards. It's actually pretty close. So it's a wonderful yarn store. The owner, Sharon, is very sweet, and it's been fun getting to discuss classes and such. So if you don't know how to knit, if you would like me to teach you how to knit, there is a class that I am teaching you can sign up for on the website of the yarn shop website. So all that stuff will be linked in the show notes if you're interested, or if you know someone that might be interested. So yay. So now we get into the fun things of showing you all my yarn acquisitions. There's a lot. But I feel like compared to other people's yarn hauls and acquisitions after Fiber Festival, it could be bigger, and it's not. That being said, it fills this entire Trader Joe's bag. So, is this Trader Joe's? Yeah, this is Trader Joe's. I did not get this at the Yarn Festival. I had this in the trunk of my car for grocery purposes, which is now has gone out of commission because it's holding yarn and fiber, and I'm so excited, and I'm sorry for the crinkling bag. So let's just get into this, shall we? None of this is in any particular order. I'm just going by what is on top so I can show you guys easily. Also, side note, something not relevant, like my bangs, this is not relevant to you, but I cleaned out this room and the garbage people are going by. I have hardcore cleaned out this room. I can see the floor pretty much everywhere, which has not been the case for a long time. The printer has been moved nicely into the corner so it looks pretty and it doesn't look ugly anymore. My spinning wheel's in a good spot. My spinning stuff is organized. The bookcase looks good. So I'm really excited about this room. we now have space to put a blow-up bed or something if someone wants to come and spend the night, so they don't have to necessarily spend the night on the couch. If we eventually get another bed, we can put it in here, which is really great. There's a bathroom. This is the bathroom that I use. We have a very odd layout, but so behind you, it used to be all boxes and like very, very unorganized. But it is organized now, and I feel so good about it, and things have been put away, and I feel really good about everything. Also, another side note, that does kind of have to do with knitting and crafting. I have wanted to make some kind of like yarn wall hanging for a really, really long time, and I'm finally going to get to do that. I have pulled out all my workhorse acrylic type yarn and pulled out the colors that I want, and I'm eventually gonna like do some kind of a rod or a dowel rod or something like that and hang different tassels of different colors in maybe like a fading type color combination or something like that, and then hang it above our bed. So I am super excited about that, and I will probably include that in the podcast of some sort, whether I show it to you like this or if I film it in other ways. So that is very exciting. I ordered some more yarn to fill in some of the color gaps that I want to add to that. So fun things are in the future. But what reminded me of that, this is definitely the craft room. We call this the office, but there's a lot of crafting stuff in here. Obviously, this is where my desk is and like all my yarn is. So this is definitely, I feel like I have opened a crafting area that is I'm very happy about. It makes me feel very inspired. So that's always a good feeling. I like it. So that was very random, and my leg is itchy. So let's show you what I got. This is in a bag, and I apologize for the crinkling. Oh no. But this, okay, so I walked in and was immediately drawn. There goes the plastic bag. Okay. I was immediately drawn to these people's fiber and yarn. It was so incredible. Highly recommend them. They are called Gritty Knits. Let's see, there we go. Gritty Knits. And they had a delightful selection of different weights of yarn, different types of yarn, and fiber, different types of fiber. Their colors were incredible. It was a very nice thing to see when you walked in. It was very inspiring. But anyway, so I saw this the first day, and I ended up getting this the second day. This is much more accurate. There we go. Oh my goodness, how beautiful is that? Ah! And they're like these little spots. It's not showing up, but these were like peachy, like ever so lightly peachy, and it's just, it smells good, and it's so soft. Like this would be the perfect pillow. If this was a pillow, I would sleep on this pillow. It's just so soft. It is merino. It just says, I think it's just all merino. And I don't know if there's a colorway name. That was not written on it, but I'm sorry. But this was the last one of this particular color. Can you like, there's some pink. Can you like see how beautiful this is? I don't normally go for yellows like this, but this was just such a happy thing, and it made me smile. And it, like I said, it was the last one, which my sister at one point said, you know, it must be a really good one if there's only one left or one or two left, which is a saying that has lasted the test of time in my family, which I think is funny. And it's also very true. Usually the best one, if you don't know which one to get, usually the most popular one or the best one is already bought, or there's only one left. So it's a good sign. Also, I love these colors. I loved all of their colors, but this one just really, really spoke to me. And I thought it would be so fun to have like a yellow, and the sun is coming out, so that's not helping. But a shawl in this color, like how happy does this look? This is a thumbnail. Like, can we go wrong with this color? I don't think so. So yes, not to drag this out too long. Gritty Knits. Check them out. They'll be linked in the show notes. They were also very nice. I don't know where they were from exactly, but because their booth was very busy when I visited them. But I love this so much. I'm very excited to spin. I realize that I have not spun in a very long time. People don't remind me of that. I'm very aware. Some people will probably be like, why did you buy fiber if you haven't spun in like over a year? Good question. But like this, I couldn't say no to this, everyone. Do not judge me. It was an impulse. It made me happy. And it still makes me happy, which I think is a very good sign. So, and cleaning in here and organizing has been very inspiring, and I just want to spin all the time now, and I just want to make all the things. Question is, what shawl do I want to make with this? I don't know. So that's a fun decision I'll come to. Oh, I wish it showed up better on camera. It really doesn't. I don't think it's representing it very well, but it reminds me of Starburst, like a mixture of the lemon and the pink Starburst. It is so pretty. That's a little better. It's not like, it looks kind of like it's egg yellow in the camera, but it's not egg yellow. It's like very nicely neon yellow. I love it. Okay, so let's not be distracted by that because it's just so distracting and just so squishy. Oh, it's so soft. Okay, moving on. Sorry for the crinkle. Here are the other two skeins of my shawl yarn from Bluebonnet Hill Alpaca Ranch. Bluebonnet Hills, plural. Hills are plural. So I got two more of these. These are the last two. Again, going by the the idea that usually if there's only a few left, it's probably a good one. They only had a few skeins, each of their colors left, so good sign that their yarn is pretty amazing. Like, people, how happy is this yarn? I just love it so much. Again, we won't get emotional about the yarn because that's just not appropriate for the podcast. Anyway, so that's super exciting. I came away with 2 pom-poms. I'm very excited. I don't know what they are. Like what kind of fur they are. These are from Nacogdoches, from Yarnia. I believe Yarnia is like a yarn store, so they had more like Madeline Tosh and like Malabrigo and all that kind of stuff. So they were not necessarily yarn dyers, but there is the, don't focus on me, focus on the thing. Here we go. So there's their logo and there's their website. If you are in the Nacogdoches, Dallas, Fort Worth area, which I believe that's close by to Nacogdoches, if my Texas geography is right, which usually it's not very good, so recommend giving it a Google. They were very nice. I love these pom-poms. I will show you what the hats, these were gotten with hats in mind. I also like that these are snaps, so if I need to wash the hat for whatever reason, I can do that, take off the pom-pom, no big deal. Also, this will make sewing on the pom-pom so easy, and I'm so excited about that. I love these. They're very inspiring. This is old yarn. This is not part of it. Okay, so, oh, have I showed you? No, we're gonna save this for another time just because there's so much and I don't want to be overwhelmed. I'm gonna show you my Zweig stuff later, so we'll throw it into that bag over there. Another single skein that I got, because I follow a lot of these people on Instagram, I got to see like little previews of what yarn they would be bringing, and which is very exciting. Savvy Skeins was there, and I have, actually, do I have it right here? I think I do, actually. I have another skein of Savvy Skeins that I got from Yarntopia when that store was open and I worked there. I love this colorway. I think it's awesome. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it just because it's special and I don't want to like, I want to do something special with it. Anyway, so I have some of her yarn. I have not necessarily knit with it, but she had an A&M skein or an Aggie skein. I think that's what the color is called. It is on her Sensible sock base, which is 430 yards, 80/20. It's a fingering weight. I am very excited. It's so soft. I have seen many A&M colorways in my time of being an Aggie, and all of them are very unique and all of them are beautiful in their own way, but I think this one is my favorite. Just because we don't have a solid maroon. We have like a variation of maroons. We have also where the white and the maroon meet, so we get like a dusty rose. We also have like this awesome addition of the gray, which not a lot of the A&M yarns in the past have included, and so I think that is amazing. I love this color. I have no idea what I'm going to do with it, but I'm super excited about it. I don't know if I'll put it together with another like a plain color and make a shawl, or if I make a hat, or what, but this will definitely be another thing that I wear to tailgates this fall. And people will be like, where did you get this, whatever you're wearing? And I'd be like, I made it. And actually the colorway name is called Aggie. And how fitting is that? I feel very strongly about this. I don't know. It was very fun to meet Aggies at the Houston Fiber Festival, just because I have my Aggie ring. So that was very apparent. And also my necklace has the A&M logo. Shall we show you? Let's show you so you understand. There's the... Is that blown out? I can't tell. But that, anyway, so people see that. And also my Aggie ring, and it's like, oh, well, you must be an Aggie. Obviously, you wouldn't have a ring. So, yes. That's super cool. I know this colorway sold out really quickly, which I think is super fun and very exciting. I am super excited to knit with this. It's just absolutely stunning. Like, look at that. It's like, they're not speckles, but they're also kind of like speckles. It's just so beautiful. I love this section right here. I think that is stunning. Oh my goodness. And plus, it was nice to meet them and all that kind of stuff. She had her daughter there, which was very fun. So, Savvy Skeins in the Aggie colorway. So next up, some of these things are connected so that some of them will come right after each other. So, this is a yarn, or like a dyer people that we met. I had never heard of them before, but they were so sweet. They were incredible. And it was a mother-daughter yarn dyeing team, which is super fun in and of itself. They are from Fayetteville, Texas, which I don't actually know where that is, but they're from Fayetteville, Texas. If you know where that is, that's awesome. They're, I don't completely understand the situation or how they have it set up, but apparently they also have a winery involved. Like, they have a family winery, and then they have their family yarn dyeing business, and somehow they're connected, and I think that is incredible. I think that's so much fun. They have a wonderful Instagram as well. They are very, very sweet ladies, and they had amazing yarn. So amazing. So amazing. So I realize I will probably run out of descriptive words, so I'll probably start repeating myself, and I do apologize. But I just feel so strongly about all these people, and I just really like them, and I want you to find out about them because they need to be known. They need to be known by everybody. So, this is the Blue Mule fiber from the Blue Mule Farm. There is their website and their Etsy store. They will be linked in the show notes, so don't worry. So that's very exciting. This colorway is literally there are a lot of yarns that I find beautiful, and I know that I say that they're the most beautiful yarn in the world. This is one of the most beautiful yarns in the world. People, do we see this? This is gorgeous. So this is on their Lala. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but I'm assuming this is their base. This is the colorway name, so this is the Buckaroo colorway, which I think is super cute. They had great names. It's a DK weight. It's a 75/25 superwash merino nylon, 246 yards. Good prices too. Like, can't go wrong. Again, they were really sweet. So this is where one of the pom-poms comes in. Oh my goodness, everybody. Can we even? I don't think we can. This is gonna be a hat. This is gonna be the Kobuk, K-O-B-U-K hat by Caitlin Hunter. This has baubles, it has lace. I know that the one that she has, or she suggests, or the pattern calls for mohair. I did not get mohair just because I felt very strongly about this particular colorway, and I think this is what the hat will look like. This is a good representation. No, it's not, but just put it on top of my head and we can see what it looks like. I think this will be absolutely stunning. Stunning. Oh my goodness. I went through my knitwear collection recently when I was doing more cleaning out and just like finally putting stuff away. Out of all the things that I have knit, I probably have way too many hats and I don't need another hat, but I want to make this hat so badly. And this is not the only hat that I got yarn for. But you know, a new year, new season, new hats, plural, multiple hats. It's okay. Hats wear out. You need new hats. You get inspired. New hat patterns get published and you want to make them. Like everybody. So yeah. So excited about this. I cannot wait. I cannot wait, everybody. I'm so excited. So also from the Blue Mule Fiber Farm, I really want to say Blue Moon, but it's not Blue Moon, it's Blue Mule. This is another skein that I got. Oh, look at that. That is so gorgeous. Oh my goodness. People, the colors were so good. There were so many colors that they had that I just wanted to take them all. I wanted to take them all. They also had an amazing, like, they had a lot of bases with silk in them, and oh my goodness, they were so soft. But I wasn't looking for silk, so I didn't get any of their silk, but it looked incredible. So do check them out. Do check them out. They are so amazing. So this is their Donegal base, because obviously it's a tweedy yarn, which I think is gorgeous. And people, this color, can we even? It's so beautiful. This just makes me so happy. This is in the the Cantina colorway, which is another fingering, again 80/20 or 80/15, with nylon neps in it, which I think is pretty cool. 438 yards. And so I got this, and I knew I had a Stephen West shawl that I really wanted to make, but I didn't see anything that because I wanted this color to like really be by itself, and I wanted this color to sing its song and just be stunning. Like, I keep seeing new colors, and I'm just so excited. Oh my goodness, I love it so much. Stay focused. So I got this one skein and the hat skein, and I was like, okay, well, keep an eye out for something to go with this for the Stephen West shawl. And I found the perfect color. Actually, I had help picking out this color, which was very nice. The lady, okay, so regroup. Where are we starting? This is from Mode Knit Yarn, and I believe they are from, where did they say that they were from? Minnesota, which is super cool. They're not from Texas. They're from Minnesota, and like that's a really far place away. But I think there were two ladies who dye, and one of the dyers was teaching classes maybe, and I think that's why that they were there, and they had been kind of touring around and doing various festivals and pop-up shops and all that jazz. So this is the Mode, like I said, Mode Knit Yarn. This is very exciting. The Mode Star is the base name. There's Stellina in it. You can see the sparkle. This is 75/20 superwash merino nylon and 5% Selena. 438 yards, excuse me. This is the color aqua. The yarn's about to roll off my lap. This is the color aquamarine. Don't focus on my face. There we go. Aquamarine, and it is not showing up on camera. It's not accurately represented. Nope. It's such a gorgeous teal, blue, aquamarine. There are so many, like, it's a tonal. I'm getting ready to sneeze. Excuse me. So it's a tonal. There are so, like, obviously there are only so many colors you can have in a tonal, but there are so, it's blended so nicely. There are so many different layers of this color. The camera's not doing it justice, and I do apologize. But together, oh my goodness, everybody. And so this Stephen West shawl I have wanted to make ever since it came out on Ravelry. And when it came out on Ravelry, it was actually not available to everybody because it was part of a Stephen West club of some sort that I was not a part of. And it was like, well, I have to wait a year till the pattern comes out to the public. And I was like, oh, dang it. Oh, well, that's fine. I'll just wait. I will wait patiently, and hopefully the right yarn will come along. And when it does and the pattern will come out, it will be amazing. And everybody, we have found the perfect combination, and I am so excited. I can't even. I keep saying that. I'm very sorry. My descriptive, I do have a good vocabulary when it comes to descriptive words, but when I get really excited, I just want to talk quickly and just end up using the same words. Oh my goodness, those colors. Again, this is not accurately represented, but I mean, even if it's still a good color combination, but in person it's even more beautiful. So, what is the Stephen West shawl? I should probably say that. It is called All the Angles, and it is one of, I don't feel like a lot of people know about that one just because it wasn't available. But it is beautiful. It takes one skein of each color. I know that there's a bigger version, but I have opted for the smaller version because knowing Stephen West and looking at the schematics, the small version is still pretty big. So we're gonna go with that. Again, I think these colors look really good with my complexion and my coloring. I am so excited. Like, oh, I am so happy about this. I'm really happy about this because I put all this stuff away so I could like keep it for easy podcasting purposes. So I haven't actually looked at it in a long time, a couple days. And so this is just really, really exciting me to see everything again, just like touch it and smell it and remember good memories and stuff like that. So good memories of the first Fiber Festival with my mom. Super, super fun. So also from Mode Knit Yarn, she had a lot of like character inspired colorways, a lot of really fun ones. They had very, very, very fun names, and one of them really just stood out, and I couldn't say no because I've been thinking about this TV show a lot and how much I want to rewatch it and how much I love it, and it's just such a good show. This colorway name, that's pretty accurate, is called Rory Gilmore. Can't go wrong. So I am a huge fan of the Gilmore Girls. I love the Gilmore Girls. And she happened to have a colorway called Rory Gilmore. And I think she had one named Suki as well, if I remember correctly. I might be making that up. I don't remember. But so she had several different the colorway on several different bases, and it was so cool to see how like the different bases took the color differently and how they look different. There was my mom got a skein of this as well, and hers was much brighter just because it was a different dye lot, which I think is very fun. Mine is much more pastel, which I really, really like. I think this was one out of the 3 yarn purchases that I did not have a plan for, which I think is pretty good. So this is another one on the Stellina base. Oh, look at that. It's so beautiful. Oh my goodness. I feel like I'm rewatching something and now I can't remember the name, and I feel like that's very bad of me. But I'm rewatching something and I feel like once I finish that I should restart the Gilmore Girls for like the 4th time, and wind this up, and it's something in honor of Rory. But again, I think I could put something with this, and it would be, if I wanted to make something bigger, I could do that as well. But it's the same base, 438 yards. So I'll be looking for ideas for this, but this is just so beautiful. Like, look at all these colors. So beautiful. That's very accurate, I think. So gorgeous. Mode Knit Yarn, highly recommend. Go and check out their website for sure. Or if you're in the Minnesota area, I don't know how that works, but if you're nearby, definitely check them out. But getting down to the end, people, I can kind of see the bottom. There's still quite a bit to talk about, but that's okay. So I also see that we're more than an hour at this point, so I'm going to move quickly through this because I don't want it to be too long, and we still have stuff to put on at the end of Fiber Festival footage. So, okay, where to begin? So there's another hat. This other hat is also by Caitlin Hunter. Oh my goodness. And it's called the Cardamom Coffee Hat by Caitlin Hunter. The way that she has the pattern written, she tells you how to do it with minis, which I think is super cool. So then that way you don't have to buy a full skein of fingering weight, and which would be a lot more expensive, because you need 3 colors. Worked out pretty well. So my mom really wanted to make this hat, and I did too, but I didn't know how exactly I was going to do it. And she wanted to do the mini route. And so there was one lady there who had the most glorious selection of minis. Granted, everybody did, like, not everybody, but a lot of people did have like mini sets that you could buy, but you had to buy them in a set. And the way this lady had them set up was kind of like on a hat rack, a spinning rack of sorts, and you could just pick and choose and do whatever. And oh my goodness, peoples, we had so much fun picking out what colors we wanted to do. We ended up going for the same colors because we both loved them so much. Also, one of these colors is called Espresso Bean, which how fitting is that to have in a hat that's called excuse me, in a hat that's called Cardamom Coffee. So it's coffee, espresso bean. And as you can imagine, this color is brown. Let's see, can we get this? How do we get this color more accurate? That's okay. It's more like warm. It's showing a pretty cool toned on camera, but it's very warm. It's more kind of like the color of my hair, but not quite. I don't know if that helps, but so first color and main color will be Espresso Bean. Also, who did this? Let's talk about that. So let's set those 2 down. By Kimmeries? I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. I do apologize. Knit Knacks. And she was very, very sweet. She had a lot of amazing yarns. She has a great Instagram. There's her website. And she did have fun accessories. We did not look at them just because we were not in the market for accessories necessarily. She was very sweet. This is, excuse me, what words am I saying? So she's from Kingwood, which is in the general Houston area. This is Espresso Bean. This is 75-25, 92 yards. So that's great. We got 2 of Espresso Bean. Our second color will be Blushing. which is like a very peachy rosy pink, not showing up on camera. And then the third one we got is chocolate covered strawberries. So gorgeous. Oh my goodness, again, not showing up on camera, but that's okay. So they're all the same base, and together they will make the cardamom coffee hat. Oh my goodness. And then, but wait, there's more. There's more. Everybody, remember my pom-pom? Like, can we even? No, we cannot. I'm so excited about this. I wanted to make this hat for a really, really long time. I've seen a lot of people make it. Didn't really, like, pursue it that much. And then when I was writing out my list, I was like, ooh, this would be a really cool thing to do. I'm so happy with these colors. And I love the pom-pom. I think it'll be amazing. Again, not showing up super well on camera, but I love it. I love it so much. And my mom will be making the same one. She has the same pom-pom. And then we decided to, for funsies, pick out a, let me set this down so I have hands again. For funsies, to pick out a random one that we just love the colors of. And I went with Cosmic. Same base. Oh, this one has Selena in it. Excuse me. Not the same base, but like, oh my goodness, people. Can we even? Like, look at that. Is that not gorgeous? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, everybody. And again, this lady was so nice. We had a very, very fun conversation with her about what we were making, because obviously we both showed up there and we had 8, 9, 10 minis, and so that was pretty funny. We had a good conversation and that was really fun. So we got to meet so many fun people and it was awesome. We're to the end. Everybody, we're to the end. But I'm going to pull this up so I don't have to bend too much more out of frame. Is there anything at the bottom? No, they're just bags at the bottom. So the last stuff, oh, I had to pull it out of the bag. So I have 4 skeins. This lady, it was very, very sweet. She is the Amanda Hope. I should do this with 2 hands. It will be much easier and much more successful. So the Amanda Hope yarn. She was very sweet. She had so many fun colors. She had such high quality yarns, high quality colors. She had fun stitch markers, which I am now remembering that I have one out on my coffee table that I forgot to bring in. But she was, yeah, words. It was so much fun to shop at her booth just because there were so many fun options, and she was very sweet. Variety of bases, so many colors. It was a lot of fun. So it says that it's words. I am sorry. I'm just very distracted and I'm trying to figure out how to show this, describe this. Let's just start. Okay, this is one project by itself, so let's start. Where to put this? I don't know. The laugh will have to do. And if it rolls off, it rolls off. So, if you are in Houston or in Texas or whatever, or you're a fan of baseball, you would be aware that the Astros won the World Series. So the Astros are kind of a big deal in Houston, and I am a huge Astros fan just because my husband is a huge Astros fan, and my parents are huge Astros fans. My dad loves baseball. We've been to many an Astros game, and it's a very meaningful thing. The Astros have a very special meaning with Harvey and then winning the World Series, and it was special for us because we were following it when we lived in Dallas, and like that was special and all that jazz. So when I saw that Amanda Hope yarn had an Astros colorway, it had to happen. I am going to be making something for my husband out of this, and I don't know what exactly. I'm thinking a striped hat of some sort, and I don't know yet. I don't know. I'm brainstorming ideas. His birthday is at the end of July, so I could make something for his birthday, but I could also save it and make something for Christmas. So this is on her Yankee Doodle sock base, which I can't read what that says in the viewfinder or whatever, but you can read it there. And I'll read it out now. 3-ply superwash, 80% merino wool, US merino wool, and 20% nylon. There are 410 yards for 100 grams. Spun in the US, hand-dyed in Texas in small batches. The colorway name is called Ghost Rose, which I think is super fun. And so I saw that she had these on Instagram, and I was like, Mom, we have to do this, because this is, how cool is this? I have not seen any kind of Astros yarn anywhere. And so when I saw this, it had to happen. It was meant to be. And so that was not the first thing. The first thing was the Aggie yarn, because I knew that was probably going to sell out. So we got that. Those were the 2 first things that we made sure we got. And she didn't have very many of these, and so I'm so glad that we both got one, because I think my mom is going to make something for my dad as well, for Christmas probably, because his birthday's in January. So I'm so excited. I don't know what I'm going to be making for my husband, but I think it'll be really special. I think it'll be really, really, really wonderful. So, yes, just Astros colors. Can we go wrong? If you don't like the Astros, I guess you can go wrong, but I mean, to each their own. I'm very excited about this. I love the Astros, so fun times. So now we're down to our final project from Amanda Hope Yarn. And okay, so a little backstory. Do you know who Christy Glass Knits is? And if you do, that's wonderful. This will make sense. If you don't, I highly recommend going and checking out her YouTube channel. She is a podcaster of sorts. She doesn't do like weekly podcasts. She does like updates and interviews. People who are in the knitting world and knitting industry. They're designers and authors and podcasters and indie dyers. She interviews everybody, and she is a wonderful person. I really enjoy her podcast episodes. Oop, yarn just rolled down my lap. And so I have been really bad about watching podcasts that I really enjoy recently. I've just been too busy and I haven't had time. And when I have had time, I have been wanting to watch something else or listen to an audiobook. So recently I have started going through my saved episodes, and one of them was Christy Glass's project update for her A Girl's Best Friend shawl by Isabel Kramer. And if that rings a bell, I mentioned that my mom is also making one, which she started hers way before Christy started hers, I think. So it just so happened that they were both making one, and so I was like, oh Mom, like she's making one, this is super cool, and you're making one, and this is fun times. And so I watched her video about this shawl, and she was just overflowing with excitement and joy for this shawl that was just so inspiring. It was like, you clearly love this shawl, and I want to make something that I love as much as that. And I want to make the shawl because clearly you love it, and I want to have that joy. That looks so awesome. I want that. Which is like incredible. She does such a good job like talking about stuff that she likes. It's very inspiring and very encouraging. And so I was like, I think I need to make this shawl now. I think I need to, I don't know when, I don't know what yarn, but I really want to make this shawl because I want to have what she described that she has in the shawl, with this shawl. I don't know. I'll link the video in the show notes just because like it's so inspiring, and I feel like it's just a good way to describe any kind of knits that are meaningful to you or to whoever if you put on a piece of knitwear that is just really special. And that can get really deep and also really emotional and blah blah blah. Not the time or the place on this podcast. But anyway, so needless to say, I will be making a girl's best friend, which I'm super excited about. So let's just look at the yarn for a minute, shall we? This is not peachy in person. This is showing up more like, in person this is more rosy and, what is this called? Pink sandalwood. So I wanted to make one. I've seen them in many different colorways and combinations, but I really, the one, like the original one, and the one that Christy made, and the one that my mom is making, I just love this color combination so much. I just love it so much. So that was my goal. That was like, if I found yarn for it at the Houston Fiber Festival, wonderful. If not, also wonderful. So we found it, and it was like, I think one of the last purchases we made, I think. And then we also ran into a friend that we knew from Yarntopia, and she was like a really close friend of mine, and so that was really fun to see her there as well. But that doesn't have to do with the shawl. So I will be making, oh, it's so pretty. I'm very excited. So this is on her Aussie Extra Fine base, which is, can I do this and hold this up at the same time? This is proving to be more complicated than I thought. We'll just read it out, shall we? I'm sorry. 4-ply superwash long staple extra fine merino, which that's a lot of words to describe that, but whatever it is, very technical words, I should say. It creates this very, very squishy yet like very nicely plied fingering weight yarn. I don't think I've ever knit with Australian merino. Muesling free? I don't know what that means. I feel like I should know what that means. I know that Australian merino obviously is a type of sheep, but I don't know what muesling free is. So each of these are 400 yards. I think I'm gonna have to fiddle with the pattern a little bit because one of the colors required like 450 or something, and I didn't want to get a whole other skein just for the extra 50 yards. So I'm going to adjust one of these colors in order to make everything even out, which I am, though I enjoy a very oh my goodness, words, though I enjoy a very straightforward knitting from a pattern experience, I am looking forward to trying to figure this out. So we'll see how that goes. Like I said, this is the pink sandalwood colorway. This is the copper colorway. And this is the silver gray colorway. So we have a delightful coppery gray pink. Like, this just makes me so excited. I am so excited to make this shawl because I wanted to make it for a while, but it hasn't really been like the top of my list. But watching Christy's video really sealed the deal, and now I'm gonna make one. So I don't know when I'm gonna cast this on or how soon I'm gonna wind this up, but I know I'm gonna be really excited when I do. So I'm looking forward to that a lot. Everyone, that is it. We've come to the end of my yarn haul, and I know I could have gone through that more quickly, and I do apologize if this is really long because I see that we now have an hour and a half of footage. So we'll see. Thank you for sticking around. If you enjoyed all the knitting content that I had this week, the actual knitting and then the yarn acquisitions, all the people that I have discussed, all the patterns and YouTube channels and Etsy stores, everything will be linked in the show notes. So if you should check out all of these people. They are so talented. They are so nice, and you should support them. They are super, super awesome. All of their stuff will be linked in the show notes if you want to check them out. Patterns and all that jazz. If you would like to follow me on any of my social medias, all of those things will be linked everywhere. If you're on YouTube, they'll be down below, and if you're on my blog, they'll also be down below. So that is very exciting. What else do I say at this point? I also have footage from the Houston Fiber Festival that I recorded as we were walking around. There's not a whole lot, but I did get some, so I will include that at the end of this podcast episode. Just because I think it's fun. I really enjoy watching people's footage when they do that, if they've gone to a festival of some sort, because it feels like I was there and I got to experience it, even though I wasn't. So I really enjoy that, and I hope you will too. I hope you have had a wonderful week, and I hope you continue to have a wonderful weekend. If you have crafty plans, I hope that they are successful. I have crafty plans this week and this weekend, and I just want to make progress on everything so I can continue to cast more things on, because I'm so excited about the new stuff I have. I wanted to cast it all on, but I know I shouldn't, so I am restraining myself. I know that I would just feel bad and not enjoy it, and I really want to enjoy every single thing that I got, so I'm waiting, and then when I can do it, it'll feel so good. So good! This coming week on Wednesday is the 4th of July if you are in America. I hope you have a wonderful and very safe 4th of July. I don't know what we're doing, but we are also going out of town next weekend, so I don't know how I'm going to handle that and the podcast, so we will see. Maybe this extra long podcast episode will last the length of 2 weeks. I don't know. Well, I'll figure that out. But anyway, I just wanted to let you know that there's a chance that there might not be a podcast episode next week, and that's just because we're going out of town. We're taking a little weekend away. We're going to the hill country, a little bit outside Austin, which is very exciting. We're getting an Airbnb and doing fun things like, I don't know. We have a list of things to do, but none of them are coming to mind at the moment. So, but that does mean knitting, lots of knitting time, because we have to drive there, and then we have to drive back, and then there's the time there, and just experiencing the world, and fun restaurants that will be on lakes, I think, which would be super, super fun, and I'm so excited. It's been a long time since we've, taken, I don't know if we've ever actually taken a vacation, just the two of us, besides our honeymoon. I don't remember. I feel like I should remember that. But now is not the time to figure that out, because this is a very long podcast episode and I don't want it to go on too long. Thank you so much for watching this. If you have stuck around through the whole thing, you are amazing and I appreciate you so much. If you would like to subscribe to the channel, then that way my videos will pop up in your subscription feed. If you'd like to like this video, that would be absolutely wonderful. That way people can see my podcast when people search for knitting podcasts on YouTube. If you'd also like to hit the bell button, you can, because I know that's a thing, and then you'll get an email about when I upload. But that is totally up to you. You do whatever you would like. But yes, so I think that is everything. So with that, I might see you guys next weekend. I might not, or next week. I might not. I don't know. We will see. But either way, I will see you at some point with a new podcast episode. So, bye!